everyone, and welcome back to Kayla's Kitchen. Today is September 20th, and that means that it is the 4-year anniversary of my Instagram account. So if you don't know, I started my Instagram account. It was called teaforkingsteaforpeasants on September 20th in 2016, and ever since it has just blossomed into a much bigger part of my life than just posting the cups of tea I was drinking that day. And so we're just gonna celebrate today. So today, to celebrate, we're gonna go through some of the posts from my first year on Instagram. It's gonna be a little cringy, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little trip down memory lane. And if you're new here, it'll be like a history book about my channel. So this is gonna be kind of fun. So as you can see, I changed setups a little bit, but now we are going to look through some screenshots of the Instagram posts from my first year on Instagram as Tea for Kings, Tea for Peasants. So you know, this is gonna take a little bit, so let's get started. First off, the first post. This was my first post, so this was September 20th, 2016. This is just my teacup sitting on my lap. I'm holding it while I'm on the couch, and the caption is good night tea. But my absolute favorite thing from this post is one of the hashtags, and it is hashtag TEAAAAAA. Clearly 16-year-old Kayla did not know how hashtags worked. Next up, we have this fun little post. I used to do these little tea of the day posts. So this was one of them. This was a pomegranate white tea from Wild Harvest Tea. And I haven't had that tea in forever. I don't know where we got it from, but I used to love it. It was one of my favorites. So this one, we have this little English breakfast from Tivana. And what I was doing was really just taking pictures of the tea that I was drinking that day and posting on it. So these tea of the days were not necessarily teas that I really liked particularly at all, but it was just, this is the first cup that I'm having, or this is just what I'm deciding to drink right now, and so I would post it. But September 23rd, we have my first post about baking. So I made this cute little mini Lady Grey cupcakes. They didn't taste like Lady Grey tea at all. It was a vanilla cake mix that I threw in. Instead of doing water, I steeped up Lady Grey tea, and then I threw in maybe a couple bags of tea, like cut open the bags and put in the actual leaves. And the cake didn't really taste like Lady Grey tea very much. It was not strong enough. And then I did orange buttercream frosting, which was way too overpowering. So the cake basically just tasted like vanilla, and frosting was just orange. And bergamot is a type of orange, but not that kind of orange. So it was not where it's at. And next we have Twinings black tea variety pack. This is still something that I buy to this day, and so apparently I've been drinking it from as far back as September 26th, 2016. September 30th, we have my first introduction to Harney & Sons, potentially, maybe not, I don't know. I don't really remember, but my first documented experience with Harney & Sons, that's their white peach tea. We didn't actually ever order from Harney & Sons originally. We only started ordering from Harney & Sons kind of recently. I mean, not recently, probably a couple years ago. But back when I first was really getting into tea with the Instagram and everything, we bought our Harney & Sons tea from Barnes & Noble. Our Barnes & Noble in particular has a little Starbucks cafe, and they also sell Harney & Sons Historic Royal Palaces collection. So that is where we got our supply of Harney & Sons. We also have a fun little memory here of we always bought the Trader Joe's pumpkin spice rooibos. So this year, so in 2016, this is posted on October 1st. That was the first year that we got really into pumpkin spice rooibos, and if you don't know, it is the Harney & Sons tea, but it's just repackaged with the Trader Joe's packaging. And we got really into it, and so we went and we tried to buy more after we were out of our first tin in maybe mid to late November, and they were sold out at the store that we normally go to, so then we ended up going to another one across town, and they had 4 boxes of it left because it was really popular this year in particular, and we bought all 4 boxes. And my dad, who at that point was not into drinking tea yet, was like, these people are crazy. Next, we have a tea that was a favorite of mine for a very long time, and that is the Republic of Tea Red Velvet Chocolate Tea. I loved that tea so much. I don't like the aesthetic of this photo, but I loved that tea. So this next one is kind of fun. So this was I think it was from World Market. It was a tea sampler pack of like England's tea. And I actually still have the box. So this was actually something that was given to my mom, but when the teas were gone, she said I could keep the box. So I still have the box. It has this lovely engraving of Big Ben, and then you can see like when you open it where there was tea up here, and then there was a little infuser and spoon that was kept down here. But on my bookshelf, I of course have books, but my bookshelf is bigger than the amount of books that I have, so I display tea things and things like that. This is a fun one. So if you've seen my most recent fall pairings post, which was posted last Thursday in September of 2020, I did a fall pairing, and what the treat that I made was I made apple pie cupcakes. And this right here is a documentation of the first time that I ever made apple pie cupcakes. So back in like 2013, 2014, I was really into watching Cupcake Wars, and I knew I liked baking, and so I just like was determined that I was going to own a cupcake shop one day. And so I went so far as like, this wasn't just like a dream or a wish, but it was like I designed like little logo and made like menus and everything. Like I was really into it. When I like things, I kind of get obsessed. Maybe that's why I started an Instagram all about tea, I don't know. So one of the things that I had on that little menu that I made was these apple pie cupcakes. So this was the first time that I ever made them. So we've made it all the way to December 12th, 2016, when I posted my first YouTube video, yay! December 15th, I posted about, I don't know why I included both tins in this photo, but I have the Downton Abbey Republic of Tea tins. I really liked both of those teas, in particular the Holiday Cheer. So I thought that this one was also very fitting to another recent post of mine on YouTube. So this is the daily green tea with peach from Republic of Tea. I used to drink a ton of Republic of Tea, but the caption is apparently it's good to have a cup of green tea every day, so here it goes. And I had started drinking that green tea in particular, that was their ginger peach. I really liked that tea quite a lot. But if you haven't seen, you should check out my tea talk on tea as it relates to mental health, and you will see why it is good to drink a cup of green tea every day. This post is kind of special. This is a milestone. We have me posting about my first 100 followers on Instagram. This is from March 10th, 2017. Right here we have June 22nd, 2017. And this is the first time that I ever decided to follow a little baking trend. So particularly 2017, there were like pretty much every month they were coming up with new baking trends. The baking world was really thriving back then, and so I decided to hop on the unicorn trend, so I made these little unicorn cupcakes. So this is a good one. So July 15th, 2017, we have documentation of one of the first teas that I ever bought from David's Tea. So this is a cup of Just Peachy. My mom and I in July of that year had gone to a David's Tea for the first time, and that's when I bought my first tea from David's Tea. One of them was Just Peachy. So August 23rd, 2017, I don't do this series on Instagram anymore, but I kind of want to bring it back. I used to post these like breakfast things, like little breakfast is the most important meal of the day kind of posts, and I just set up my breakfast with my cup of tea and posted about it. And I just thought like they were kind of fun. Here I have documentation of August 24th, 2017, which this is the first time that I went into a David's Tea store and got a cup of tea from them. So that was their Me to We tea. You guys, I've come so far. So this right here is my first tea stash little picture. This is what it used to look like. It all fit into one drawer. It does not anymore. It is much beyond that. This is a funny baking post. So this is a birthday cake that I made for my mom. And so it's a chocolate mocha cake. Here's a little story about this cake. I made that cake while my mom was out of the house. We were having a surprise party for her. She didn't know that anyone was coming up. I made, decorated, and hid that cake while my mom was out of the house, and she never knew about it. And when I brought that cake out, she was super surprised that my siblings all came over and everything. And then when I brought that cake out, she goes, "Where did that come from?" Because she had no idea. I have this knowledge that I have the power. I could bake a whole cake and my parents would never know about it. This is another really good one. We're almost to the end here. We're at September 19th, 2017, but we have this pumpkin ginger? Yeah, pumpkin ginger tea from Republic of Tea, and I also really liked that tea. That's another really good one. But lastly, we're here to my 1-year anniversary post. I made that little doodle thing. I made pumpkin scones, and I was celebrating with Republic of Tea's hot apple cider tea, which later that year was going to become one of the teas that I used in a fall pairings episode. Yeah, we got through that. So it's been quite a journey for me with tea, because it really went from something that right when I first got into tea, I wasn't even drinking it every day. I knew nothing about it, and now it's like such a big part of my life, and it's so much more than just a beverage, and yeah, wow. But all that to say, this 4 years has been so much fun, and through name changes and channel theme changes, I am just so grateful to everyone that has followed me throughout the journey. But that's all for this episode of Kayla's Kitchen. It's been kind of long. If you don't, we'll see how long this video ends up being, but I have currently 40 minutes of footage to edit through. But that is all for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you don't mind, give it a little like, subscribe down below if you're not already, and you'll get more fun content like this. But that's all for now. So as always, happy sipping.